about to start. Good morning, my patriots. How y'all guys doing? Welcome to another edition of, you guessed it, Joel Davis Media Network. If it's your first time tuning in to the broadcast, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell up top. If you are following me right here, right now on Instagram, please do me a huge favor. Go ahead on and definitely share this video, and I will answer your comments as I do this report and give you my detailed analysis about what's going on in today's report. So, uh, also please note that this is sponsored by Nine Line Apparel. If you want to get a discount with Nine Line Apparel through me, all you got to do is put Joel Davis Media Net. Joel Davis Media Net. You will get 10% off. All right, guys, enough of that. Let's jump into this story. So, if you all have been hearing all over the news, if you haven't heard on the news or all over the news, that Elon Musk has just purchased Twitter. Now, this all went down Monday morning. Ever since Monday morning / Monday afternoon, after purchasing it for $44 billion, the radical left has lost their mind. When I say they lost their mind, they have lost their mind to the point of no return. Now, I am going to go in and share with you an article of where they have the FCC, well, excuse me, the radical left wanted to get the FCC commissioner, what's going on, Claudia, to block the purchase of Twitter. So I'm going to go and share this with you from Fox Business News, read the article to you, and then after that, I'm going to tell you my feelings about this whole situation and wrap it on up. All right. Brandon Carr, a commissioner on the Federal Communications Commission, rejected a left-leaning organization claim that the FCC has the authority to block Tesla from purchasing Twitter, in part because Musk also owns Starlink. Now, after Twitter accepted Musk's $44 billion offer Monday, the Open Markets Institute warned that the deal represents a threat to American democracy and free speech, suggested the deal is illegal, and argued that the federal government has the power to block it. The Open Markets Institute believes the deal poses a number of immediate and direct threats of American democracy and free speech. The OMI director, Barry Lynn, said in a statement, Open Markets also believe the deal violates existing law, and the Federal Commission on Communications Commission, aka FCC, the Department of Justice, DOJ, and the Federal Trade Commission having ample authority to block it. Lynn noted that the deal would give to a single man who has already wielded immense political and economic power direct control over one of the world's most important platforms for public communications and debate. Citing Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, the Telegraph Acts of 1860 and 1866, the Mann-Elkins Act of 1910 and the Communications Act of 1934. The OMI directive claimed that the American people have the absolute right to ensure the full openness and neutrality of all essential public infrastructure. He also noted that the U.S. government have used antitrust law in the communication sphere. Mr. Musk already controls one of the most important internet platforms in the world in the form of the satellite communication system Starlink. Lynn noted, since the late 19th century, the U.S. government has routinely acted to prevent mergers between existing essential platforms. This means that just as we would now expect the U.S. government to block a takeover of Twitter by Google, Facebook, Comcast, or Verizon, the same rules apply to the owners of Starlink. Lynn ended the letter by encouraging the federal government not just to block Musk's acquisition of Twitter, but to regulate Facebook, Google, and Amazon by firmly reestablishing clear bans on any manipulation of communication by essential platforms and to eliminate all business models that rely on such manipulation. Brendan Carr, a Trump appointed FCC commissioner, shot down Lynn's claim as absurd. The FCC has no authority to block Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter, and to suggest otherwise is absurd. Thank y'all for the love over here. Carr said in a statement Wednesday, I would welcome the full FCC, make it clear that we will not entertain these type of frivolous arguments. It does not surprise me to see that some interest groups are planning to throw in the kitchen sink at this transaction in an effort to derail it, Carr added in a statement to Fox Business. Of course, the FCC has no authority to block this transaction. And while I am not a position to speak for the DOJ or the FTC, oh, I got you, Jenny. You know I got you. The other agencies that were identified that Open Markets Institute released, I am not aware of any basis upon which any federal agency can block it, he said. But I defer to these agencies to speak to the scope of their authorities. Now, suffice it to say, it is far from clear that the groups objecting to these transactions are going to do so because they're interested in a neutral application of competition and antitrust laws. These efforts look like a move motivated by a desire to prevent the free exchange of political views on Twitter, Carr concluded. Carr has previously expressed optimism about the Musk acquisition of Twitter. I'm hopeful that Elon Musk is going to bend Twitter's content moderation towards a greater embrace of free speech, Carr said on Fox Business earlier this week. Tesla, the Department of Justice, and FTC did not immediately respond to Fox Business after hours request for comment. Okay, so let's break this more down, guys, of where we at in this situation. Okay, let's go and remove this right quick. I'm not going to play no audio this time or video. So technically, why do they want this not to go through? Well, we know why. Because Twitter has been the liberals' baby. Okay. They bullied Jack Dorsey so bad that Jack Dorsey stepped down and let another super woke CEO took over. Well, one thing about Elon Musk, he's more like a centrist, maybe even a libertarian, but he loves America. That's what's important to me. And people that loves America loves the Constitution. They love this free speech, and they look at things from a more open range of scope. So trying to block this transaction would be asinine. It would be bad for the market. That's for number one. Number two, why will the DOJ and the FTC not going to get involved? Because Tesla is part of the government green plan. Okay. He has put himself in a position that the government needs Elon more than Elon needs them because of his genius of coming with electric cars, helping them come up with electric infrastructure to go all green in the future, they're not going to mess that up. That's why Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and the rest of them are on the sideline hating, because this man has literally single-handedly put himself in a position where nobody can stop him from righting the right of the world. It is what it is. And not to mention, Twitter was losing money anyway. Stocks now are better, and it needs to go private. That way, if it's private, it can be ran efficiently. Nobody can say, I'm hurt with this, I'm hurt with that. Now, of course, you got the liberals that's running from Twitter for now, but where are they going to go? TikTok? Who takes TikTok seriously to an extent? I mean, it's just what it is. We already know that TikTok has got a massive information out there, so a lot of people don't trust it. So the smart thing to do in this case is to embrace the L. Okay, just take it. Take the L. All right, you lost the fight. Okay, Elon came in. He came in with $44 billion strength of capital, okay, and took your baby. And you know good and blame well, nobody was going to say no to that, because everybody loves what? MONEY. Money talks and BS walks. It is what it is. And to block this would be, like I said, a failure upon failure for this economy and for the stock market and for everybody else involved. So, and the investors. So, no, it's not going to stop. They're going to proceed on with it. And I won't be surprised if Elon Musk does another major purchase on something that the wrongs of democracy. And I hope he does, because maybe he may be the only guy that could get everybody to understand that we have the Constitution for a reason. We don't have it just for as they want to put it, for kicks and giggles. We got it because we want to make sure that situations like this that's going on in this climate today, people have freedom of speech. And I think it's very important. But unfortunately, we also live in a climate where we have political people that are in the liberal, extreme liberals, that feel like the only person that should have freedom of speech is them. And if you don't agree with their freedom of speech, then you are an outsider. You are threatening democracy. You're the enemy. You don't have no way of talking. And now you need to be canceled. I'm glad. I'm glad of it. I'm glad that it's coming out. And I'm glad that it's being stopped. And before I finish, I want to talk about another thing, about another situation that just came to my attention. Shout out to my boy ABL. He talked about this. He did this on a broadcast, on a podcast. Let's see here. I don't know if I could find it, but I may have to use ABL's. Um, yeah, I may have to. I may have to use ABL's one. So give me 1 second here. I'm trying to bring this up if I can find the article, because this was shocking to me as well. All right. All right, so I'm gonna share this with my boy put out. Shout out to ABL. I'm gonna go to his website. Y'all need to check it out. It's anthonyblogan.com. anthonyblogan.com. He has a lot of stuff where he writes his own stuff. He does his own editing. It is amazing what my boy does. So we're gonna read this right quick from the website, and then we're gonna wrap this on up. Oscar award-winning actor Jamie Foxx, actor and comedian Jamie Foxx took a few of his friends from California to Florida to a party with Trump supporters. Fox made the revelation on The Wires Only. It's a cryptocurrency podcast. Now, this was back in February this year. All of his friends who made the trip were black, and the majority of the people Fox met down in Florida were not black. Race shouldn't really matter. However, the racial component is somewhat important to the story. Jamie took his group of friends to Destin, Florida, also known as Redneck Riviera. It is the beach area similar to Virginia Beach and Myrtle Beach. Shout out to Myrtle Beach, guys. That's where, near from my point of view, point of area where I'm from, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in the house. Very beautiful place. Beautiful water and just an overall great tourist location. Fox says this particular area is located in the Gulf side of the state, close to Alabama, and is known to be a haven for Republicans. One of the podcast hosts chimed in and made a suggestion to refer them as rednecks, and Fox said, no, just Republicans. Some would hear the description of Destin and think that it would not be friendly to minorities, but the reality of the situation is quite the opposite. The California friends Jamie Foxx brought along to Destin were nervous about all the white Republican Trump supporters they feared they would run into. Jamie calmed all their nerves and said, well, he understands the South since he is from Texas. One, Jamie got into the mix and met up with a few people. He was immediately recognized and embraced. One man changed the music from Lee Greenwood's Proud to Be an American, which I love that song, to Gold Digger, which is Kanye West's song famously featuring Jamie Foxx imitating Ray Charles. Yep, I love that song too. They had an amazing time with everyone in Destin. Black or white, Southern or California, didn't matter. And the more of the story is that more Americans should embrace different people and focus on what they have in common rather than what are often small issues that tear them apart. Now, guys, I read this story for a reason because Jamie Foxx is a very successful black comedian, entertainer. He's very popular in the woke culture of black Americans, but a lot of people did not know that he was raised in Texas. He was raised in Texas in a town that was predominantly white. And so if you look at Jamie's dating history, he dealt with Katie, the girl that was married to Tom Cruise, whatever that Katie chick name was, for a hot minute. So it goes to show people that no matter where you come from or what color your skin or how you was raised, at the end of the day, if we got a common ground of trying to enjoy each other's company and have a good time, then we can all enjoy each other and have a good time. I think that the media, mainstream media exactly, has messed this whole thing up. It has made us feel like that the only way we can all get along, we got to be a certain this, a certain that. You got to stick with this type of group of people, and that type of group of people doesn't matter. When I was in the military, I met a lot of guys. I met guys that's never been around black people in their life. But when we went on that battlefield, when it was time to protect each other, we didn't sit there and try to figure out who race is what. We knew that we were Americans, and we knew we had to get our behind home. That was the common goal, and that's what we bonded through. And I think that's what America needs to understand. Stop listening to all this. I'm oppressed. I'm this and I'm that. No, you're not. You only oppressed up here. If a guy or a woman from another country can get here with not a red cent to their name and come in this country and become a success story, that you should be a triple success story. It's all about what you do up here. It's not all about who you hang with there or who you deal with there. It's about what you do up here. And how do you use that up here? You watch what you intake, and you make sure you surround yourself with positive energy that's going to make you go to the next level at all times. All right, guys, that's all I got for you on this report. Please do me a favor. Go ahead on and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're on Instagram. Please share this. Please share this. Thank you very much for coming through. I love y'all. Take care of yourself and each other. Y'all know how I do. I'm out.